You've got English patriots that come in and they're just like, we understand there's Sharia courts in here. Where are they?
Sharia courts in the UK? This better not be a clickbait title.
Where are you? Yes. Hello. Yeah, all white males. Like, what the this is war. What are you doing? In other news, Britain First, which is, I believe, a political party, but as you could probably deduce by the name of the party, is very much English or off. A Britain First team of activists gained entry to a notorious Sharia court, which doesn't exist, by the way. So we got access into this Sharia court that does not exist. According to media reports, there are over 85 known and active Sharia courts operating across the UK.
This is terrible. This undermines the law and order in the UK. This should be stamped out.
Let's see how this went, shall we? Britain First storms an Islamic Sharia court in heavily Muslim East London. Hello, sir. You seem to be miles away from the Middle East. You do realize you're in East London, right?
Are we okay to have a look at the Sharia court?
No, not really. Guys, you need to leave. I was gonna have to call the police.
You call the police.
Guys, you can't
don't touch me.
Guys, you can't be here.
Oh, no. Don't touch me.
Guys, you can't be here.
Please don't. Please don't look at the Sharia court.
This is a Sharia court. It's just through there. We just want to see it quickly.
Office.
Just show us.
Guys, you can't be here.
This is the Sharia court.
Just come into the court. Four white men.
Oh, 4 white men in East London? Call the police.
We're recording the court with our property. We've got confidential files in here. They can't be in here.
Now I have just realized exactly why this little brown fella sounds so anxious. Look at the size of this white giant.
Yes.
Nearly had to duck through the doorway.
Confidential files in here. They can't.
The size of this man, he's the same size as the bookshelf.
Yes.
Can we get a look on that face? It's funny to me because I never really imagined storming the Muslim strongholds on English soil to be so unbelievably quiet, timid, and polite. Did you? You've got English patriots that come in and they're just like, we understand there's Muslim Sharia courts in here. Where are they? Where are you? The Muslims adopt this stance. Yes. Hello. Yeah, all white males.
The way I see this working, by the way, this Sharia courts, is this is for inside the Muslim community. If something happens, a crime happens, a robbery happens, they don't call the police. Or maybe someone gets arrested by the police, and the victim, instead of pressing charges, they don't press charges, and then they have their own separate legal system in the Sharia court. They're for if everyone's a Muslim, the victim and the criminal, they move it outside the UK system and into the Sharia courts. This is the way I'm thinking this works. And they can't put people in prison, but they can impose fines. They can maybe exile them from the country. Well, hopefully we'll find out more.
Like, what the this is war. What are you doing? Instead of the Muslims going, they just go like, yeah, they're here. Yeah, 4 of them. Yes, 4 white men. Yes, they're here. They will not leave. Would you come, please? Thank you. Click. Well, you will be surprised to know the police are on their way. They're here. They're here right now. This is war? This is the war? I don't remember that part from Kingdom of Heaven. Do you? Templar?
Here's the AI overview of the situation. So what they're dealing with is in terms of marriages. So marriages and divorce, religious divorce would be happened through these courts, and then they'd go through the UK law system once they'd agree to the divorce. But that means there is this parallel legal system now of Sharia courts for Muslims in the UK. Religious scope. They primarily function as voluntary advisory bodies providing religious guidance on Islamic marriage, religious divorce, and family matters. Yes. Sorry.
And rhetoric.
About that. But guidance sometimes can be strongly encouraged by the entire community, and you might be ostracized and kicked out if you don't abide by the court. So it may have no statutory power, but in practice, this is a second legal system.
Show up and they start being like, "There's Volt!" Orlando Bloom being like, "I will fight with you, brothers, against the Muslims." Though he doesn't really do that until the end of the movie. He's a bit of a Muslim apologist, actually, for a lot of the movie. And then you've got Saladin, or whatever they call it. He just goes, "Hello, yes, Orlando Bloom. Yes, they're here. Could you tell him? Thank you. The guy with the silver mask. Yeah." What the is this video?
This is the Sharia court. There's over 85 of these nationwide. They're operating and building a parallel legal system which has been given more and more power in legislation as time goes on. Yeah, we are going to leave. We just wanted to see this Sharia court.
Yeah, well, it doesn't exist, though. It's not real. Do you not know? It's not there.
We want to show the public what's going on here. So this is where the judge would sit, and this is where...
There's a...
Okay. Further, just as I suspected, now a new search, Sharia courts, UK crimes. And yes, here are the criminal concerns and overlap. Vigilantism, illegal attempts by self-appointed extremist groups to enforce street-level religious codes have resulted in criminal prosecutions and prison sentences for assaults and threatening behavior. So there are gangs out there trying to enforce these Sharia courts. Coercion and abuse. Activists and parliamentary reports highlight risk where community or family pressure forces individuals, predominantly women, to use religious counsel rather than secular courts for severe domestic disputes. And I don't think Sharia courts are as friendly towards women as the Western courts. I mean, Western courts are hugely pro-women, not Sharia courts. Honor-based abuse, criminal acts such as forced marriage, domestic violence, and physical assaults linked to perceived community shame remain fully subject to police intervention and UK criminal prosecution, independent of any court ruling. But you got to think that not every one of the criminal acts, such as forced marriage, is going to be gone after by the police. They don't know of everything. You have this community of Muslims that are abiding by a Sharia court, and everyone's on board to not talk to British people about it. You have a separate legal system.
A two-tier law system that exists, right? There's the governance that everybody is subject to whenever it comes to the government of the UK, right? You've got the courts, you've got, the governments, you've got the judges, you've got the police, you've got all that kind of stuff, right? That's what we have to deal with, okay? If we want to go through a divorce, if we want to go over certain policies or laws or whatever, then the only thing we can really do is speak to our actual governing body that exists. Muslims, however, have their own, which they need to use in order to operate within the UK. So they're able to...
And the danger long-term is if once we start having Muslim mayors, which the left is actively promoting as part of diversity, well, these Sharia courts might become official courts of the region. They'll do it to the fullest extent that they can. And, there might be some limits at first, but if they ever get a majority of Muslim sympathetic PMs, they might actually, in some places, make official Sharia courts. Wouldn't you love to live under Sharia law in the UK? I mean, that's the future if unlimited mass migration continues.
To manipulate things like marriage laws to get certain free rides and cash while remaining married in the eyes of Muhammad and Allah in these little Sharia courts that deal with, let's just say, sub-laws, alternative laws. They do all sorts of nefarious shit in here.
Disputing parties would... We have a legal system in this country. I don't understand why you build it. All right, don't touch me, please. Please don't touch me. Okay, we'll leave. We have a legal system.
He saes, okay, we'll leave. There's still 3 more minutes of the video.
system in this country. I don't understand.
Well, he might be talking about Sharia court after walking out of the building. And I actually would walk out of the building before the police arrive. Because the police, of course, they've been trained to be anti-British, basically.
And no one understands why you're building a separate legal system.
There's no separate legal system. You're just ignorant.
We're not ignorant. They could just seen the court in there. You called it a court.
Why have you seen
You called it a court.
Yeah, they're just recording.
It really is quite different, the English accent, isn't it? I can 100% under.
What was he pointing to on the wall?
It really is quite different, the English accent, isn't it? I can 100% understand. Hopefully, other people out there can understand why my accent slowly changed over the years, professionally speaking, or even, you know what, just day to day, my life, my accent sounds like this. In the English accent, right, the sort of East London sort of accent, it's a coat, right? Sharia coat. Yeah, we're just gonna have a look around the coat. But in American, it's court. They're different. It's entirely different words. It really is. I think it's only through context you guys are probably able to pick up what they're saying. Yeah, there it is right there. That's what I was talking about. Process for Islamic divorce.
Yeah. What is this doing in UK? There should be only one process for divorce. That should be what's set out in the laws of the UK.
This is what I was talking about here.
You're not allowed to be in the first place.
Don't fight me. Like, shut up. You're in East London, and a bunch of white fellas just came in. You should be like, hello, sir, is there anything I can do for you? Could I perhaps offer you a little bit of goat while you wait? We got baby goats, big goats, fat goats, smelly goats, clean goats, shaven goats, hairy goats. He turns into the guy from Dust Till Dawn.
You import the third world, you get the third world's legal system.
Unbelievable. Why? What?
Oh, wow, okay, so can I come into your house if your door's open?
This is not your house, idiot. And you can also try it, see what happens.
Okay. This isn't a house. This is a Sharia court. We would never come in your house. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Why are you building a separate legal system in this country?
Britain becomes Western capital for Sharia law courts as 85 open throughout the UK.
All of them should be shut down. And the people that opened them should be deported and denaturalized if they're British citizens.
It's not a separate legal system, though.
You try to undermine the British legal system, you get sent out of the country.
So then what is it?
That's what I would do.
Well, I haven't even. I'll ask you a question.
Oh, we can increase playback speed.
Okay.
We have the droopy, sleepy eye phenotype. I want you to behold this woman before you and truly understand exactly why they have mountains of goat.
Not a different legal system.
Right, so it's not a different legal system. We've been told, we have finally made it crystal clear. It's not a different legal system. It's not a legal system. So what is it? What does it deal in? Let's see if we get an answer here. Let's find out.
Religious communities, like the Jews who have their own organizations, Anglicans have Anglican courts, we are allowed.
And growing use of Sharia by UK Muslims.
Anglicanism is a state religion.
We are allowed.
The Church of England is part of the government, part of the state. Yeah, close down all religious courts. They're not necessary in this country.
Sharia courts have no place in UK family law. Listen to women you know.
He just called it a court. Yeah, but that's just wordplay. That's just deception.
It is wordplay.
These are called, right, 85 of these. These are described.
Sharia courts exploit Britain's rich tradition of religious freedom. Any possibility of migrants in the UK arriving to a second, third, or fourth wife should be clamped down on. Yes.
Across the media are Sharia courts.
That's their problem. It looks like it's your problem today, sweetie.
To get around it being a court.
Also, did anyone pick up on that? She said it's not a separate law system, but also they have their own separate law system and stuff like that. Pretty sure that's what she said.
Oh, you call it a council? Yes.
Again, using wordplay, misnomers in order to subvert suspicion.
UK is booming in one area, the growth of Muslim Sharia courts, where 100,000 unregistered marriages have taken place. 100,000 unregistered marriages have taken place. And so the women who have unregistered marriages, they have no protection under UK law because they're not officially married. They can't get a divorce under UK law because they're not officially married. They can't get child support under UK law because they're not officially married. This is terrible. This is anti-women. This is 100,000 that this has happened to. And I can tell you, it might for now be mostly only affecting Muslim, only aimed at Muslim, but it's a matter of time as the Muslim community grows, they're going to start trying to force this on non-Muslims.
You can't question Antifa because to question Antifa would be pro-fascist. UK is booming in one area. The growth of Muslim Sharia courts, councils, sir, where 100,000 unregistered marriages have taken place.
If you've got a problem, go to the British English legal system.
This is what we do. We provide mediation. Of course, the first-
Absolute rubbish. It's absolute rubbish.
Can you find out what's actually going on instead of just whatever rubbish?
We know what's going on. You're building a parallel legal system. Here you are. There's over 85 of these all around.
This is how a nation gets conquered. Yeah, just unlimited invaders come in and they start building their own legal system, and you let this go on for decades, and soon your legal system is gone.
Find out what the truth is. Don't listen to lies and rhetoric.
How's it lies?
All right.
Oh, far right.
It's far right to not want an invading religion setting up a parallel legal system in your country for the sole purpose of circumventing the local government. To apply a...
And these 100,000 marriages, I bet you it might be 100,000 women, but it's probably not 100,000 men. It's probably men that have multiple wives. And that's why they're doing it unofficially, because they can't do it officially, because you can't have 2 wives in UK, or 3 wives, or 4 wives, or 5 wives.
an alternative set of laws to themselves, separate from the state. It's right wing to not want that. What does the center, politically speaking, what does that look like to these people? Furthermore, what does far left look like to them? They're very good at deducing what far right is.
They're using the words that they've been taught will defend them. You say it's far right to criticize our Sharia courts that help Muslims have 4 wives. It's far right to say that.
Seems to be the only thing they're able to classify. They can classify that immediately. They recognize it straight away. Far right, the right wing, the far right, the fascist. So what does center look like? What does neutral look like? And furthermore, what's a leftist to these people? I'm curious what their classifications are for these things. Using body language to suggest that she's the innocent one. Quiet, listen, I'm talking. You are incorrect and I am right.
It's a council. That did not... Okay, that did not look like a council. That looked like a courtroom. We've just been in there. No, I've been in courtrooms.
And then the gaslighting follows.
I've been in courtrooms. That is a courtroom. That is a courtroom. That's not a council. A council would be a big table where people sit around, right? That is a court. We saw it.
We also saw the poster that talks about the parallel marriage system with which they used to manipulate.
You're like a media parrot, right? Far right racism, far right racism, far right racism. There's no such thing as Islamophobia. It's Islamo-realism. All of the Muslims have come to a different country that's set their own parallel legal system. It's outrageous.
The Islamic Sharia Council. 85 of these in the UK now. Separate secondary legal system.
Epic battle. Hell yeah, fellas.
Yes, ban Sharia courts.
Yeah, boys.
Absolutely, every one of them.
The lads.
It undermines the rule of law in Britain.
Also, yeah, ban Sharia courts. Oh, it's a typo there. It should say councils. Now, there was an obvious thing there.
If you don't support polygamy, if you think it's bad that a husband has 4 wives, then you should be against these Sharia courts because that's their purpose.
She started to argue semantics, right? It's not court, it is council. All right, love. So what are you doing in these Sharia councils? You can use whatever words you like. It's called Antifa. If to question it, you must be like pro-fascist. We're anti-fascist. Oh, okay. So what do you do in your little anti-fascist groups? Over the last 3 weeks, can you describe your recent activities? What kinds of things you engaged in, who you targeted, and why? What do you do in these Sharia councils? Is it different to what you were doing in the Sharia courts, or is it the same thing? Where's Vlad when you need him, eh? Well, here's the thing about human beings. Vlad the Impaler, whether he was murdered or not, was eventually going to die, okay? There always needs to be a successor. Unless, of course, you get a subversive group of people who are hell-bent on trying to demonize who you are, what you stood for, and what your movement was trying to do. Therefore,
Proton Snail says polygamy is inherently destabilizing and creates an expansionist conqueror population. You know, that is true in a way, but it made me think about, in terms of the UK, we know the migrants are overwhelmingly men. In every one of these places, all across Europe, 90% more of them are men. And so who do you think the women are that are being forced into these Sharia courts? A lot of them probably are UK women. You know the UK grooming gangs? The report on that? Yeah. These are British women that are being forced to live under Sharia law. I bet you, in a huge part, in these Sharia courts.
you die.
And I know that because most of the immigrations are men. So who are them? Who's the women's side of these marriages? They have to be coming from the UK population.
Second death. You die once as a mortal, right? You die a mortal death. And then you die a political one. You die a historical death. A symbolic death, which is the death of your ideals, of your movement, of your ideology, as an extension, your country. You die again whenever they come after what you stood for, your legacy. And whenever that's done, whenever they you and then parade your body around, they then parade your ideologies and your beliefs and your motivations. They parade those around as well, and they make a mockery of those. So what does that do? It makes sure that nobody ever associates with anything you've ever done. And why would they do that? It's because the thing that you were trying to do is incredibly effective. It was going to work. Had enough people been involved, had slightly different tactics been used, it would have worked.
Yeah. Yeah, those Sharia courts need to be shut down. You can't have a separate legal system in the country. That'll result in a complete breakdown in law and order at some point in some communities. It enables the abuse of women on a massive scale, and those women are going to be majority British because the migrants coming over, the Muslims coming over are mostly men. So the women's side of these outside the law marriages are going to be British. Anyway, this will be on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Can watch on Kick or Twitch, and I'll see you next video. Bye.